Hi, this is Mr. Smith. In this video, I'm going to give you a video tour of Ecampus, also known as Blackboard, and also MyLab Math, which used to be called Mymathlab, so sometimes you'll hear me call it that. So when you first sign in to Ecampus, you're going to be here, although yours is going to say, I'm assuming, Student Quick Links. But we want to go under Courses. And I'm going to go to the fall of 2021. I've got a lot more courses than you guys do. Let's see if I can find the right one here. There we go. So because I'm in a window where I'm taping and it's small, it's making me have to click here to get this to show. But if your whole page is open, I think it'll be here. But in any case, when you first enter, you should come to the announcement page. And so you're going to want to read this, and it will tell you exactly what you're going to find here in eCampus and what you need to do to get started. And so you'll want to follow the directions there. And one of the first things it's going to do is ask you to go to the Syllabus link here and click on Syllabus and print this out. And you should probably highlight the things that are important, and if you have any questions, maybe put in some question marks. But you should look through the syllabus and make sure you understand what's in there. And of course, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. That's what I'm here for. So let's move on to the next link is the Mymathlab link. We're going to skip that. Here's how you can email me without having to type anything in. Nice, easy way here. Introductions and questions. Let's go there. So I'm going to have you introduce yourself, and you can see that I've introduced myself here. And so I've done a written introduction. I've also done a video introduction. You can see I've shared some pictures. And the only thing I would say is do whatever you're comfortable with. Most people just write a little written introduction, but some people like to be more creative or like to make a video. So whatever you're most comfortable with. And to get back to the previous screen, you just click here. And this is interesting. I don't know why it's doing that. We got to go back again. So the first time you come in here, notice you can click on Create Thread, but you should be able to do that under here. So first of all, I would mention you can reply here. I guess you can't. I thought you could put your own thread in right here. Oh shoot, now I'm out of the class. All right, let's try this again. So you ought to be able to go in here and then click on Create Forum, but if not, you'll do it here. But that's how you will do your own introduction. You can also click under Tests. See, notice here you have Create Thread. I don't know why it wasn't showing under the introduction, but it should be there when you're doing your introduction. So notice here I've got some problems that I did last semester, or actually over the summer. And students will ask me questions when they're in Mymathlab, and often I'll make a video and I'll post those here so you can look for those. And I'll do that by each chapter, or I'm sorry, each test. Other than that, that's pretty much all that's in here. I may be putting you in teams, so you'll be using this link here, but there's nothing in there right now. This is where you'll find your Ecampus grades. Remember that Ecampus grades are more accurate than what you're going to see in MyLab Math. Resources, these are some student resources, financial aid and some library and stuff like that. There's going to be a new way that they're doing tutoring and all those types of things. I forget what they call it, but that link's going to be coming, and I'll make an announcement when that changes. Let's see. There's also the help link. That's for if you need help with Ecampus or Blackboard, one and the same. Learning materials, if you click there, this is supposed to have all the video, or I should say all the materials for your courses. So yours is going to look different than mine. And let's see. The only other one here would be tutoring. So if I do tutoring with you outside of in my office, then we can do that through here. And I basically just create a session, and you can come in here and I can do an online tutoring session with you. All right, so that's pretty much everything in eCampus. Let's go to MyLab Math. Okay, so when you first come in here, you can click on any of these links and you can register. I don't know what's involved in that, but it's pretty simple. So after you do that the first time, you won't have to do it again. You're going to want to run the browser check. This is just to check that you can run everything in Mymathlab without any problems. Notice I don't have any plugins that I need to download. And we'll come back to assignments. That's where you're normally going to go. This is where the Mymathlab gradebook is, but again, the most accurate gradebook is going to be in eCampus. Here's where you go for your e-text or for the textbook. Again, this is online. And we don't have a physical textbook. It does take a minute to download here. Well, it usually doesn't take this long, so let's see. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. Don't know why I did that. Error. Let's try this again. So e-text. There we go. So this is your table of contents, and you can go wherever you need to go. Let's go to chapter 4, section 1, and this is the textbook. And you can go from page to page using these arrows here, and you can kind of play around with this to see how it works, but that's your textbook. And yeah, all we need to do here is click out. The next link I'll show you is the Multimedia Library. That's for all the resources that come with Mymathlab. So for chapter 1, we'll just do all sections, select all. So these are all the animations and videos. You got PowerPoints. Here's your textbook links. And so this is available to you throughout the course. Although I pretty much set up things in MyLab Math so that you can go back and see things that we've done earlier, but you can always come here to find things from the past. Integration support, if you need help during the semester, some kind of technical issues, they're probably going to ask you for information here. And if you have any kind of learning disabilities and you're interested in accessibility, there's some things here. And then finally, that's pretty much everything other than assignments. So let's go into assignments. All right, so you can see transitioning to college. I think there's 2 or 3 short videos in there. Some good information if you're new to college. This is optional. Entering answers in Mymathlab. Most people are pretty good these days about working with templates and entering things into Mymathlab, but graphing is a place where sometimes people have problems. If you ever run into any problems with entering answers, I'd encourage you to look through that. And then also this calculator that I recommended for the course, the one that I'll be using, This is an introduction to that. You really probably won't need to go into that until maybe when we get to chapter 5, but it's just the basics, and that would include entering fractions. And then here's your first 3 assignments, 1.1, 2, and 3, and then quiz 1. Those are your assignments that are due on the 29th. So let's go ahead and click on this one here. And I'll show you a little bit around a little bit. So it tells you what's going on here. Notice you get half off if you do the assignment after the due date. Let's go to number 5 here. And I think one more. So you can click on these arrows to move forward or back. So it says round to the nearest given place. So we're rounding this to the nearest thousands. So I'm just going to put 1.89, which is a wrong answer. Check your answer. Notice that's wrong. Let's say we put in another answer. That's wrong. We get 3 shots at it. Notice it says final check. We got it wrong. Now notice it's going to give us the option to ask a similar question. And if we do that one correctly, then this will be marked correct. Or I can move on to the next question, and then I can come back. Now I could back here, arrow back here, or I can click here, and this shows me everything. And you can see I missed that problem. But now if I click on similar question, it gives me a new problem. So what's that? 1.778. 1.778, or 1 in 778 thousandths. And so when we do that, notice now we're green check mark. And if you go back here, you can see that. So the point is, if you're willing to put in the time to correct any mistakes, you can get 100% on every homework assignment. So there's some other things here. Notice help me solve this. If you click on that, it'll help you solve this problem, and then it'll give you a new problem. Or you can view a different problem and see an example and then do this problem. Often you'll have access to a video. In these first couple of sections, there's no videos, but later on you'll see a lot more videos. This is the textbook link to section 1.2. And I believe once you get in there, you can always go to other chapters, but it's going to take you to 1.2. Don't worry about this one. Ask My Instructor. Notice this is going to give me a copy of the question, and you can put in your question or your comments. And the nice thing about this, I can see exactly what you're working on and what your question is. Sometimes I'll do a written response and send that back. If I do a video, then those are the ones I'll post in Ecampus. And so that's it for that. And the only other thing I would say is if you go under settings, I don't know anything about the Help Center. That's something you could check out. But again, if you're interested in accessibility, there's some information here about that. To get out of here, I can click on Save and then OK. And notice I'm back here to the list of assignments. Notice the due dates. And I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to share with you. So that's going to be it. If you have any questions, let me know.